the Witches and Roses. I'm Natinyani, the Art Witch, and today we're doing a Pick-A-Card Tarot Reading about chakras. Now, what does it mean? It means we're going to take a look at your energetic alignment. For those of you that know everything about chakras and you're short of time, you can fast forward and choose your card right now. For those of you that don't mind a little intro, I will say a few words about chakras. Now, what are chakras? So these are essentially vibrant energy centers within our body, each of them aligning with a certain aspect of life. We have 7 centers. Well, there are actually much more as far as I know, but there are 7 main centers that are corresponding to how we express ourselves in this reality. For example, to what extent can we be authentic? Are we really following our life purpose? Are we capable of materializing our ideas, our dreams into a physical reality? To what extent are we capable of processing loving emotions? How can we express our sexuality? Everything that we encounter in our daily lives, everything can be analyzed through this chakral system. Now, another thing worth mentioning is that chakras, they are like distributors of the vital life energy, otherwise called prana. And when all of these centers are aligned, it's really easy for us to manifest the craziest dreams into our reality, like this. And when there are certain blockages, then it feels like we're lacking a general sense of well-being, or sometimes we're simply hitting a wall with some projects. Or like an example, you can be making a lot of money, but at the same time your love life is a nightmare. So there is an imbalance. And understanding how your chakras work, I think it's an amazing tool when it comes to finding your balance. And this is something that I'm working on myself. And, it's constantly in process, in becoming. It's not like you've learned how to tune yourself like this perfect instrument and then you are in this alignment for the rest of your life. It doesn't work like that, obviously. So for those of you who are harsh on themselves, don't be. We are all losing control of things. Some days are better than others, but we're still on this spiritual journey, and this is why I created this channel. Really, I've created Witches and Roses so that it becomes a safe space for this spiritual development and growth. And yeah, by the way, if you want to support this new community, I will appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe. And of course, if you want to connect outside the YouTube, there is also a Witches and Roses Instagram. And of course, if you want a personal reading with me, you can always contact me via email or DM me on Instagram as well. Now, enough talking, and let's get to the practical part. It's time to take a deep breath and choose your pile. If you need some extra time to choose your pile, feel free to pause the video. All of the timestamps to your piles are down below in the description box. And of course, take only what resonates. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. As you can see, 7 chakras, 7 positions, and we are going to start with the root chakra, the first chakra. So let's have a look. Pile 1, root chakra. So the first message that is coming through directly is that it could be that in your family tree and like in your, I don't want to say genetics, or just trying to be careful. Yeah, I think it seems like there is a history of people with a tendency for depression, let's say, and maybe certain codependencies on certain things. Now, it may mean many different things for many different people. For some of you, it's like, being a workaholic. For other people, it's really indulging in certain substances. But I think that this is coming from a fact that you feel like you need to control a lot of things to feel safe in your world. You do not come across as the most vulnerable person. I don't see it here. And it might stem from the fact that you've developed a certain personality that allows you to come across as bossy and, even slightly controlling. But when we are looking at this position through the prism of the root chakra, and root chakra is responsible for the sense of safety in the world. And this sort of safety, it's a big subject. It can be feeling safe within a small community, or on a larger scale, being, doing what you have to do in the world when it comes to your business, for example, when it comes to pursuing your career. And if you're not feeling safe doing it, it becomes really challenging. So, yeah, I think that you have to, it's like you've been maybe lying to yourself in a sense that everything is under control. It's like there is a sense of illusion, and as a matter of fact, there is a lot of fear. There is a sense of losing control, really. And you didn't have the time to face your anxiety. It's like you are trying to compensate with other things. It is a process. It's totally fine. Like, we are building up our confidence, like not in one day. It takes years of experience and self-work. But I really see this message that even though you are coming across as very collected and bossy for other people, maybe, I feel like some people might even find you very inspiring. And I'm not saying that you are not inspiring. You are. All people carry a certain light of inspiration, and I think that when we speak astrologically, you might be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, so very strong leadership energy here. However, it does not mean that a leader is not allowed to experience anxieties and fears. So for some of you, you might even be scared that some people might find out that, deep inside, you are not feeling your best sometimes, or maybe you haven't been feeling your best for quite some time. So to what extent are you feeling safe? I would say you are keeping it under control, but at the expense of your emotional well-being. So I think it needs acknowledging that maybe it's a good idea investing into your psychological fears of belonging, because again, we're speaking about the root chakra, and maybe you didn't feel safe growing up in your environment, and now you want to propose certain things to the world, and one side of you thinks that, yeah, it will be appreciated, but the other side of you might feel like people will think that you are slightly immature, perhaps, or maybe that you even have bad intentions in your projects. I don't know. I think there is an energy of a how is it called? The syndrome. Sorry, it's coming. The imposter syndrome. Yeah, for some of you, you feel like you're not really enough. Yeah. But again, there is a certain sense of not feeling safe within relationships with people, and maybe you have a lot of ambition and a lot of projects to fulfill, but because you are not feeling safe in general communicating with people, as if they will lie to you or as if they will betray you, it becomes challenging, really. And I see that you are still going in this direction. You are not giving up, but at the same time, this energy is making it harder than it could be. So this is like an existential blockage. Perhaps you just have to speak to yourself in a different manner and try to convince yourself that it's okay trusting people, like reprogramming your brain. Because for some of you, it is really to do with building up something. For some of you, it's a start-up. For others, it's a creative project that involves collaboration with others. But this part of you that is not trusting people is experiencing a lot of anxiety. And again, there are different groups of people. Some of you are hiding away after working hours and, you know, like drinking or trying to diffuse the tension with some substances so that you can carry on. For others of you, if you are not into any substances, then it feels like being a workaholic. So you prefer to do everything on your own. You do not delegate things to others. And again, your mental health is suffering from it. Yeah. So this is your root chakra. Definitely a fear of betrayal and trust issues here. Let's see what's happening with your sacral chakra. Is it balancing it out? Sacral chakra. Oh, very active sacral chakra. Very, very creative person. To the extent that you are capable of even changing the world, I think, with your vision of things. And people are ready to follow you. But again, sometimes you have a sense that they won't appreciate what you propose to the world. But it's only a slight, it's a tiny bit of the overall energy here. In general, there is a lot of creative passion, and I think you are quite a patient person, really. And even if it takes a lot of time to get to where you want to go, I think you are on board. You're still going to do it. You're very grounded in this sense, and not only you have intuitive nudges as to where you need to go, but you are taking full responsibility that it has to be real. It has to be, like for some of you, if you are making business, that it has to be legal. And I think you are even ready to work on yourself. Like, if you need to take a self-development course, you will take a self-development course. You're really serious about how you are planning to express yourself. The only thing is that I am seeing here is that, yes, sometimes, again, it may be connected to the sense of not trusting people as well. Sometimes you may feel like still it will be slightly underappreciated. Very warm, creative energy, capable of sort of creating this umbrella to protect other people. So you could easily be like a very wise boss, or even if you're not a boss, still some position of authority, even if it's a small authority. Still people find it safe asking you for certain things, asking you for advice, for help, or simply just being in your presence. You feel like a solid person. And this is interesting because, like I said, I don't think that many people may even imagine what you are going through inside. Yeah. Very strong, creative, transformative energy. And a grounded one. I don't want to even add anything else. It's a beautiful energy to have. So your sacral chakra is quite balanced, I would say. Well done. Now let's have a look at your solar plexus and see how confident you are. Well, yeah, when it comes to confidence, again, but it's human, it's totally human, but I think you do sometimes think, like if people start whispering in your ear, you do pay attention. I can't say that you are carried away by what they say. No. But it does have a certain impact on the way you see yourself, I think. And sometimes you get slightly discouraged. So I think you are advised to spend some time with the sense of self-worth. And since you are this King of Wands, which is actually, it's the second time that it's coming out, then you should be the one deciding to what extent you are valuable, and then it will be mirrored back to you. And again, don't get me wrong, I think it's very beautiful having, and it's essential really, not just beautiful, it's essential to have critical thinking and even criticize yourself. Otherwise, people wouldn't be able to create anything of a high quality. However, I have a feeling that there are too many people whispering in your ear, okay? And also, I'm hearing that the best way to deal with it is just to be, just like take it as a joke. You know, it's the best self-defense. All those people with the best sense of humor, they have the biggest, it's not always like this, but in many cases it is the case. They do have this very deep traumas, and they develop this mechanism of turning everything into a joke. But it's really good sometimes. Again, it's a matter of the extent. Everything has to be balanced. You can't joke about everything. Sometimes you have to take things seriously and address the problems. But when it comes to, random people, okay, maybe not random, maybe if it's like close people, even close people, if they are giving you unsolicited advice, try to listen to it like it is some sort of joke. If you are 100% confident in what you are doing. If you do, however, feel triggered by what they say, perhaps deep inside you feel the same way, and that's why we get angry or get hurt oftentimes, is because our internal doubts come to the surface through this other person. So doing some shadow work around how confident you are in what you are doing at this time is a good idea. Yes, and of course, becoming more rooted in your sense of self-worth. Because again, I have those two cards, and I feel like you have a tendency to fall out a little bit fall out, you see, my gems are falling out. Fall out a little bit, and again, use certain not so healthy methods of coping with your emotional problems. Then you go back on track. But in between, like, it's really hard for you to process a certain sense of doubt. Like, it's very painful, and maybe again, since the root chakra doesn't feel very stable, maybe you fall into like it's as if it's a very, very deep emotion. That's what I'm trying to say. You do have a strength to carry on with your projects. You are not discouraged, I'm going to repeat it. But at times, your mental health is really suffering. Okay, let's see at the state of your heart chakra, and maybe we will understand how safe it is for you to communicate with others. So your heart chakra. Okay, now it makes sense. So your heart chakra is really lacking hope, I think. You are trying to move forward, you are trying to go after what you want in life. But there's too much anxiety and a sense of loss, a sense of abandonment. And again, we have a lot of doubt everywhere, even in your heart chakra. And for me, again, there is a connection with the self, with the self-worth. I'm sorry, I'm speaking, I'm almost stuttering. It's interesting. Yeah. Some of you went separate ways with some person, and after that you started really questioning your sense of worth. And this sense of worth, since it's been lost, is preventing you from taking everything like in a balanced manner. There is a lot of anxiety, and that's why sometimes you might have a tendency to overwork or to isolate yourself from others, doing everything on your own. There is a massive message of trying to emphasize the need of balance. And I know it's very abstract. What does it mean, balance? Well, in your case, balance means connection with others. So when you are tired, trying to develop anew this trust, this hope that other people are not necessarily always dangerous. Now, of course, we have to be vigilant, and caution is necessary in life. But if we are constantly in this energy of expecting a certain sense of betrayal, then ultimately it's going to come. I think the dreams that you are trying to manifest into your reality, they do involve connection with others. And you really have everything. You have everything that it takes, except for the stability within you to open up the space for others, because we are collective beings, and it doesn't matter how talented you are, you will still have to go through life with others. Now, you might say to yourself, well, no, not necessarily, I don't have to go through life with others. Yeah, some people are more introverted than others, but again, for some reason, I don't feel like you would like to isolate. It's just not coming through. I think you are a very warm person, really. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at your throat chakra and see how can you communicate with others. Interesting. So, okay, I will try to, again, anxiety coming out like the third, yeah, it's anxiety card. It's the third time that it's coming out. So Okay, I think the way you communicate with others might be sometimes slightly, again, overly controlling and slightly bossy. I don't think you are feeling safe communicating your emotions to others, and I might say that you are not really like other people might see you as slightly egocentric even at times, and I think this is because you are blocking your own emotions. So obviously there is no space within you to connect with the emotions of others. It does not mean that you are not a sensitive person, okay? Not at all. Or that you are not even an empathetic person by nature. Because I think you are a warm person, but at this time, from this energy, I can see that right now, you are not in the most empathetic phase of your life. Maybe because, again, you feel like you need to protect yourself, otherwise others will hurt you, and you have to be responsible for your own life. But I think at this time you are becoming like a victim of your personal illusion a little bit, okay? And I think your soul would like to liberate yourself from this energy because it feels lonely. Yeah, it feels lonely, it feels isolated, it feels even if there are a lot of people around you, I mean, inside it feels isolated, it feels like no one understands you, and that no one ever will understand you. And maybe you are waiting for a certain person to come into your life and to sort of show you that this other dimension of relationships with others exists. But unfortunately, that's how it works. We have to be the first ones who cultivate this energy within us, and then it manifests into the physical reality. So if something has happened recently, or if something happened long ago that made you feel unsafe, or if it's simply a generational trauma of not feeling safe in the world. Maybe one of your relatives was betrayed by the other, and then they were depressed for a long time, or for the rest of their lives, something like that, and you saw it with your own eyes, and it just scared you a lot, and you decided to never repeat it. And so if it resonates, it resonates. I think you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so I think your communication can be a bit harsh sometimes, and yeah, overly centered on yourself. But again, it's not because you are a bad person, it's because you don't want to get hurt, and you're trying to analyze thousands of things in your head and make sure that you are invincible, that no one can hurt you. There is no way to your heart, to your emotions, or even to your thoughts, really. I feel like you are impenetrable, totally impenetrable for others. And again, they see, most of them see I don't want to say fake picture of you, but like a surface picture of you, okay? It may not necessarily be fake, but it's just a surface level. You are not showing people what's going on inside. To come across as positive, bossy, controlling. And again, I think that mostly, like for the most part, it's really toxic for you. It might be toxic for others as well. I don't know, we could dig deeper, but like not in this spread. But most importantly, you are suffering from it. You might not be seeing it. You might think that, okay, but there is no other way. What am I supposed to do? Like, I'm a big girl, I'm a big guy sort of energy. I must protect myself, otherwise no one will. Yeah, but like I said, like I've already mentioned, your soul wants to feel more carefree in this world. And sometimes even share things with others, because we are looking at the throat chakra. You would like to share things, you would like to share your secrets, but you're not sure it's possible. You think that this will definitely backfire if you do. So what can I say? In this position, I think it's a very good idea to find a therapist, coach, a psychologist, to at least take things off of your chest. That would be the first step. Learning how to open up your inner world. Because it feels like there is a lot on your plate. And sometimes you get lost within your own emotions. Or even thoughts. I feel like your rational mind is very, very strong here. It's so strong that I don't actually see many emotions. You are repressing them, and each of you with different sort of methods. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what is happening with your third eye chakra. Third eye chakra is very active. You are a master manifester. My God. You can bring to life the most challenging of projects, really. And if you do dive deep into your subconscious mind, I think you are capable of transforming and of healing any generational traumas. It's amazing. You really have the capacity to do it. If your siblings or your parents didn't have the tools to do it, you do have the tools to do it. It's just a matter of making a decision and going into this direction. Because I see here that your manifestations depend a lot on your emotional body, really. And again, on the way you relate to others. So the better your relationships become, and when I say relationships, it's not necessarily romantic ones. Again, there is a very strong link to the beginning of the reading. So once you've healed your sense of trust with others, it will become extremely easy for you to get to the culmination of your creative vision here. Because sometimes you do have an internal conflict as to how am I going to achieve this or that. And this is exactly why you have it. Again, it's all revolving around your relationship with others and the lack of trust when it comes to other people. Other than that, it's a very potent, fertile imagination that you've got. So you are following your intuition. It's a confirmation. I am confirming it. You are in touch with the magician here. You are deeply in touch with your intuition. I think you know what it is that you have to do in this lifetime. And you are taking action towards it, but it's really hard. It's hard. Okay? And it doesn't have to be this hard. That's the message. We are the ones who are making our lives difficult 99% of the time. Okay? And the crown chakra. That is again the chakra of your life purpose. Yeah, but you are trusting the universe. I think in your past you had to leave a lot of things behind. You had an awakening and then you just decided to follow your intuition. The only thing that we have here again is doubts around trust. Like you trust your intuition and you trust yourself, but you do not fully trust the environment here. You've discovered your life purpose. Like you had your spiritual awakening or your creative awakening, however you want to call it. And now you're just, maybe you've been isolated on your spiritual journey for too long. Maybe that's the case. And you just decided, okay, what if I can do everything on my own? Just me and God, just me and the universe. But the universe, everything is universe. Other people, it's God and the universe too. So, yeah. All right, pile one. Hopefully it was insightful and I've managed to confirm and to bring to light certain important things and get across the main idea of what's going on here. If you want a personal reading, yes, all the details are down below in the description box, and let's connect on the Instagram where I will actually talk more about chakras and about things like certain foods and essential oils that can help do spiritual work around certain chakras. So if you're interested in that, let's meet there. And yeah, interesting energy. Have a beautiful day and see you soon. Bye bye. Hi pile 2, welcome to your reading. So here we are, 7 positions, 7 chakras, and we are going to start with the root chakra. Okay, so the root chakra is responsible for how safe we feel in the world and for our overall stability in this life. So it feels like you are going through a big shift at this time. Some of you could have even changed the country, and it's like you've been jogged out of a certain position, situation, and perhaps it was unexpected and you were not ready for it. And I think your heart is still trying to process all of it. and yeah, it just felt like it was out of your control. It is as if the destiny itself spinned the wheel and you had to adjust to this wheel, basically. That's what it was, I guess. Yeah. So, nevertheless, given that you are going through this massive shift, I think you are someone who finds within yourself this sort of internal voice that is telling you, okay, everything is happening for the best, let's just go with the flow. And even though it feels like a lot and maybe you are not ready to sacrifice certain things, but you are choosing to trust the flow and trust life and trust the universe. So it's very, very different from the first position. Even though you are going through quite a challenging situation, I think your root chakra is doing quite well, I must admit. And yeah. Your give and take with others is in constant flow, and I think you know that even if the universe is taking something from you, ultimately you will receive even more. Some of you are not consciously thinking those exact thoughts, but you do have it in your subconscious mind. Yeah, it's still there in your system, and somehow intuitively, when it feels very hard, you are capable of connecting with this energy of trust. It's amazing, really. Nothing else to say. I'm going to have a look at the sacral chakra, because your root chakra is very resilient. That's the word I'm feeling. You are a resilient person, perhaps in general. Maybe you've been through a lot of changes in your life. Maybe you had to start over and over again many times, and maybe you feel exhausted at this point. But again, you are stronger than this, much stronger, because overall energy is still vibrant. It's not stagnating, and it's not even anxious. There is a certain sense of sadness and loss, but again, it's as if you do have this higher perspective on things and this maturity, and so there is quite a deep connection between you and the universe, yes, even on the physical plane. Because I will have to see how things are going in terms of your intuition and everything. But even if your root chakra is this flexible, I might expect some deep things here as well. But we shall see. It depends, really. Maybe you are just this resilient person in general, but you do have some other blockages. I don't know. So far, it's very. You are a master of adjusting to different situations in life. Very beautiful energy. Let's have a look at your sacral chakra. Oh, whoa. Oh, my dear, again. Okay, so you are unstoppable. You are yourself, this vibrant chakra. I think when people meet you, they are like, oh my God, this person is going to turn my life upside down. And you are learning a lot. You are someone who's either traveled a lot already, or someone who's like simply learning new things, and you're constantly pushing yourself forward and forward and forward. But maybe sometimes it feels like the universe is pushing you forward, but it's both. You like the push and the universe is pushing you forward. But there is this sense of heartbreak again. I think maybe since a lot of things are happening so rapidly, sometimes you don't have enough time to process everything that's happening. And you are a very strong person, but again, I think sometimes you need to catch up with your heart. Yeah. Interesting message for some of you. You are investing all of your creative energy into your projects, because this way you can distract yourself from a heartbreak. But again, this is only for some people. For others, it might not even be connected to a specific person or to a love relationship. It's just, in general, it's as if you had to sacrifice a lot of things in your life in order to live a better life in general. Maybe you had to change your social group, change your environment again. Yeah, change the country. And you miss it a lot. But you know that it was something that you had to do in order to get to where you want to be. Yeah. For some of you, if you're very young and you just, started your university, then obviously it's like a rite of passage and you might miss your family. But of course you have to pursue your dreams and your vision, and this is what you are actively doing at this time. So amazing energy, and the only thing here is this sense of sadness as a backdrop to everything that's happening. But what to do? I cannot see that this energy is making you lose your overall balance. It's not. So it's just coming through, apparently, because tarot is showing everything. But let's have a look at your solar plexus, and this is your energy center that is responsible for your power. Okay, so you are actually feeling quite competitive at this time, and you do feel like you have to stand your ground, and you are determined to do it. You have to stand your ground within a certain collective. That's for sure. And no matter how hard it is, you will do it. Yes, you are trusting higher powers, you are trusting your spirit guides. Yeah, there is a strong message that, okay, you might be someone who's like really into spirituality, because you are really relying on higher powers, I'm feeling. But there is some sense of a battle here, which is good. But again, just a side note, when we become aggressive very quickly, of course, it's indicative of the lack of power, as a matter of fact. So if at times you feel like you have to dispute with someone, by all means do it, always do it, because our sacral chakra is responsible for our boundaries and the way we stand our ground. But sometimes the situation can be resolved in a much softer way. So standing your ground, it's not necessarily being aggressive. It does not equal attacking, even though sometimes it is. There are so many situations in life, but in general, strength comes in a form of very, very resistant peace. That's what it is. And when I say peace, it does not mean being people-pleasing, okay, for the sake of peace and just being so peaceful and calm. No, peace means being patient, being patient with yourself and with your opponents. So next time when you have to stand your ground, try to analyze everything that's going on from a different perspective, perhaps, and to analyze to what extent it is really crucial to use all the power that you've got. Maybe it's enough to say a couple of words and the problem will be gone. Okay, let's have a look at your heart chakra and how safe you feel in this center. Okay. Okay. So in your heart chakra, you are currently feeling a lot of very heavy, confusing emotions. There is a lot of confusion coming through, and you are focusing again on the positives, on feeling, but it's hard. It's hard to do it because you are feeling abandoned and you are feeling like you are holding a certain grudge, and there is a certain episode that happened to you that you cannot let go of, and your psyche is trying to reconstruct it, but I think emotionally you are feeling slightly apathetic at this time, and it feels like there is a huge mountain of some dark things that you have to cut through, but you don't even have the energy to do it. And it's like you're slightly bypassing it, because otherwise you won't have any energy to function at all. And it seems like you have to do a lot. There are lots of changes in your life at this time, and if you decide to deal with all of it, you even the bare thought of it is making you feel anxious. So you're trying to maintain like a state of peace, but it's a slightly stagnant energy. There is no emotional satisfaction at this time. And it's okay. Again, for you, I'm hearing like, maybe you are so wise that it is a good decision to give yourself a little bit of time to simply, rest a little bit first and then dive into it. If you don't feel like it's time to unpack all of it, then it's not the time. Of course, you have to trust yourself on that. But again, yes, I'm feeling like there is something in your heart is really bringing you down. And it's something rather big. But I don't feel like you are even ready to touch upon it. And since you are not ready to touch upon it, I won't be spending much time here. Because, I feel like it's just not the right time to do it. And you just need your peace of mind. Okay. This is your throat chakra, and this is how authentic you are on the daily basis, really, and to what extent you can express yourself. Okay. Sometimes you feel like you are lacking certain words, but in general, I think you are someone who speaks in a quite interesting, imaginative way. Maybe you use a lot of different metaphors, and I think it's actually one of your strengths, communication. But again, since you have this sort of emotional burden at this time, sometimes, you are trying to find the right words, but they are not always there. And when it comes to, again, to your relationships, there is a bit of a blockage here. And I think this is because you do not quite understand what's happening in your personal relationships at this time, and how to even contextualize all of it. So I think when it comes to your authenticity, of course you have to wear a certain mask and to hide things. People do not see everything that's happening in your life crystal clear. Yeah. I think people really like having conversations with you. We have the Lovers twice. So it might be quite comfortable talking to you. You could have a very soothing voice. Or if not the voice, then simply what you say and how you say it. It's quite soothing. I think you can understand others very well, really. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at your third eye. Your third eye chakra. And this is your connection to your intuition, and it the way you can see where you need to go. Well, I do not see a lot of clarity here, but again, I see a lot of trust. And sometimes you feel like you are controlled by the events again. I do not see a lot of freedom here. So what is happening at this time in your life, it may not necessarily be what you had envisioned before all of this started unfolding, but you know, this is exactly how it happens sometimes. For example, we are trying to manifest one thing, but the way we get to this point, it's not really under our control. And sometimes people get discouraged and they think, okay, it means that this dream is just not on the plate. It means it's not going to happen to me. But what actually is happening is that to get to where you want to be in your vision, you have to go through certain challenges, you have to learn something, you have to experience something first, and then, yes, you will get to this point. But in our third eye, we do not see the whole path. We do not see all the puzzles. And I think this is what's happening here. You do not see all the puzzles, but again, the good thing here is that you are still trusting. You're still trusting, and it is beautiful. But it is still hard, obviously, and sometimes it does feel like a lot, and you, sometimes can feel like you are powerless. That's what I'm hearing, powerless. And you would like to have more power in this situation, but you are hoping for the best again. And I'm just confirming that, of course, you are still moving in the right direction, and the deeper layer of your intuition is aware of it. But definitely there is not everything that you can understand. Not everything seems sensible to you, and some things may feel completely unnecessary, but apparently they are. You might be learning something at this time that will then help you get to where you want to be. Okay, and let's have a look at your crown chakra. This is the highest point in our chakra system, and it's responsible for our life purpose and our connection to the universe and to the divine. Okay. Massive changes going on. Even if it's not physical, then it's an internal change. It's like the universe is asking of you to grow immensely and to leave a lot of things behind, to fight for your own place under the sun, and to be extremely specific about what you want in life. It's like you really have to narrow down your focus, do make a lot of sacrifice, and to be in this tunnel vision so that you are not distracted by what is unnecessary. And actually this is saving us time. The quicker we get rid of the unnecessary distractions, the quicker we achieve this success. And I am a firm believer that the universe and the divine, of course, wants us to succeed in life and to live the best version of our lives possible. So again, with the star, you are really guided at this time by the universe, and I think you are feeling it again. But it feels like a lot. It feels like a lot, and you are doing your best. Really, bravo! You are doing your best to maintain your balance, and on some days, but like, of course, like all of us, but specifically like this pile, this message is coming through strongly. Some days you are doing well and you are very stoic, and others you just it's like you wish it has never happened, but I think it's just a temporary feeling. Yeah. You do know what you are fighting for, and it's all a matter of our priorities. And if we do prioritize the best things for ourselves, then of course we have to make a certain effort and devote ourselves to this path. It's like a test of devotion at this time. That's what I'm hearing. Whatever it is. But I'm mostly feeling like it's about your career, honestly. Because when it comes to the matters of the heart, it's as if you've put everything on pause at this time. Yeah, maybe that's why it's so hard, because it's like you've chosen your career over your love life. For some of you, it's not entirely sacrificing all of your love life, but certain things are maybe sacrificed here and there. Still, you are prioritizing your own path more. For some of you, you just had no choice. It's because, you know, your relationship didn't work out and you just had to continue with your life. And even though you have a heavy heart, you still have your life to live, and you are on this earth to do a lot of important things. Yeah, plain simple. Okay, pal 2. Hopefully it was insightful, and I'm sending you lots of love and support at this time. I feel like you need it. And yeah, if you want a personal reading, you can always contact me via email and Instagram. Everything is in the description box. And of course, let's connect on Instagram as well. I will be posting a lot of things on chakras and how to keep them balanced with certain foods and essential oils and basically everything that can make us feel a bit better on a daily basis. Okay, have a beautiful day and see you soon. Bye bye. Hi pal 3, welcome to your reading. Here we go. 7 chakras, 7 positions, and we are going to start with your root chakra. So the root chakra is responsible for our general sense of stability. Usually we can see to what extent we are feeling stable in the world, and to what extent we trust people, to what extent we trust ourselves, and things like that. Okay, so I think you've been consciously or subconsciously actually working on your root chakra, okay? If you're not really into this chakral system and this is the first time you are doing this sort of scanning, then you were simply investing into your sense of stability and into how you can feel protected in this world. But still, for many of you, I feel like you knew perhaps that you had a lot of fear around stability in your life, and you've managed to overcome it. But I feel like you've invested a lot of hard work in it. It wasn't just like a present of God's. You know, there is work behind it. And some of you are even in the position of coaching and passing this knowledge to others. So maybe some of you are actually healers, or simply you are counseling someone on certain things in life. For instance, if you are a writer, then you tell people how to monetize what they do. If you are a singer, an artist, I think there are a lot of creative people here as well with the Ace of Cups, then you've also achieved some sort of recognition, or at least you know how to monetize, again, what you do. So it's a very stable energy. There is an equal give and take. You've learned how to give and receive. You've learned to value yourself, even if it wasn't the case before. For some of you, it was an inborn talent, something that your parents really encouraged you to do, in a sense that they guided you in the direction of stability, and they always emphasized so that you don't just give out your resources to others, but also think of how you can receive this gratitude back. For others, if you had to start from a very low point and you had to build yourself up yourself, then this is what you've done. And it's really impressive. You really had to learn how to be confident in your stability. And now you are confident in your stability, okay? And it feels like whatever happens next, since you do have this sense, this ingrained sense of self-value, you will be fine. Amazing. I will leave it there, and let's take a look at your sacral chakra. You started like a boss. You're the king of coins, okay? A very grounded energy. I don't know if it's just, but I don't want to even spoil it, no. Let's consider that this is going to last forever. So, yeah, let's analyze your sacral chakra just a tad. Okay, sacral chakra. Sacral chakra looks a little bit more problematic. I think you are slightly hiding the full spectrum of your charm, and you're trying to come across simpler. I don't know if it does it even sound the right way, but like you are much more complicated, but you try to come across as a very simple person. And you know, I hope that it's not like I'm, you know, trying to be very soft here. It's not that being simple is a bad thing, or being complicated is a bad thing. It's just different energies, okay? And I do feel like your energy is a bit more complicated than others. That's it. It's just your characteristic, okay? And maybe you feel that not everyone will accept it. There is a certain fear of rejection, as well as a fear of showing yourself as you really are. And since this is in the position of sacral chakra, then we are talking specifically sensuality and sexuality. So maybe you would like to dress in a slightly more sensual way, but you feel like your job doesn't allow you to be like this. Like, what kind of image are you going to portray if you're going to dress this way? And now, like, I know it's a difficult thing, and it's easy to say, but just do it. But in some situations, there are certain restrictions, and maybe you will have to maneuver your way into the fulfillment of this desire and find balance. Yeah, maybe at work you will still have to have a certain dress code that is kind of stripping you of your personality, but then it's important to find a way to express yourself to the fullest somewhere else. Yeah. So I feel that when it comes to your self-expression, not everything is shown. There's a massive aspect of you that is hidden. For some of you, it is to do, again, with certain traditions and the way you were brought up. For others, it's your sort of ingrained beliefs as to how you're supposed to look. Otherwise, something will affect your reputation, or simply the way people think of you, okay? Yeah, that's the main message here. This is interesting. I'm really curious to see what's going to be in the position of the throat chakra, because throat chakra and sacral chakra, they are sort of interconnected in a way when it comes to the authenticity of our expression. But actually physically too, you know, when it comes to the female health, for example, it's now been proved that if you do have certain blockages in your jawline, for instance, then most probably you do have certain blockages around your hips and pelvic floor. So you see there is a link. So we have, what do we have here? It's a solar plexus. So solar plexus is going to show us to what extent do you feel confident, powerful. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So you do feel very reactive, I think. There is a lot of reactivity, and reactivity does not really mean power. I think you would like to be more powerful. I think you are trying to find this power in you, and it's a process, and it's all right. It's coming, but I feel like sometimes you just get triggered very easily. And yeah, especially when it comes to communication with others. But obviously all of us do. And I think you would like to break free from this pattern, really. And maybe this is something that is really challenging in your partnership. And I don't know, is it relevant for everyone or not? But the message is coming that you've been having a lot of conflict with your partner recently, or with your friends. A lot of disputes within relationships here. But I think you are awakening to the fact that more gentleness needs to enter your life. And yeah, there is certain awakening happening when it comes to your solar plexus, when it comes to how you project your power into the world. But maybe you are so reactive because you are not fully satisfied when it comes to your... yeah, when it comes to simply how you operate in your daily life. There is, like we've already seen, a little bit of as if you have no other choice but to wear certain masks. So you repress a lot of things, and then something comes your way from your partner and you're very easily triggered. Even like I'm hearing on some days, like people have to walk on eggshells around you. And yeah, I think you are being overly sensitive at this time, which is okay. Again, no judgment here, even with the judgment card. It's just the energy of today, and I think you're always capable of doing certain work around it. And when we are in so much stress, again, since this is a solar plexus, you could be having certain problems with your stomach and being sensitive to certain foods for some of you. Okay. Yeah, slightly nervous energy when it comes to communication with others, very easily thrown off. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at your heart chakra. Heart chakra, what's happening in the matters of the heart? Okay. So, for me, this is like a continuation of what I've just said. Apparently, you are really having too many disputes with your partner, and some of you even considering separating with this person. Okay. And yeah. Interesting. For some of you, you've just, like, you've been entertaining this idea for quite some time, and it does not even feel very painful. It's simply a matter of finding the right reason. I'm hearing it's like you are looking for something so that you can give it to your partner and say, you see, that's it. Obviously, we cannot be together because of this and that. So yeah, it feels like you are planning an escape, and you've been doing it for quite some time. I don't know. There is this energy that you are hiding something. Even in your heart, you are hiding something from others. And what you are hiding, in my opinion, is your escape. Yeah. Your heart is moving on. It's like it's not really present in your current situation. Okay. I can't say that this is a very harmonious energy to have in your heart. Okay. Like I didn't want to comment it much, but yeah, it's like your heart is on the run. Okay, it wants something else, but you do not know where to get it, perhaps. But you want something else. There is a certain sense of lack. Well, all I can say is that, yeah, escape is not always the best solution. So, yeah, maybe it's worth investigating your personal satisfaction with yourself first. Again, like, I am not pushing you into anything. I want to make it clear straight off the bat. But at the same time, I think some of you need to hear this as well. So sometimes it's really us, and we have to satisfy our own needs, our personal needs, and then relating to other people becomes much easier. In other cases, maybe, yes, your soul is really giving you signs that you have to move on, and you are responding to this calling. You will be the one to know for sure. Okay, now let's have a look at your throat chakra, and this position, yes, it's going to show us to what extent you are authentic in your daily life. Well, as you can see, yeah, we have a lot of battle and struggle here. So how authentic you are. I don't think many people know the true you. I don't think so. I think many people know you as, okay, not many, okay, generalizing. Maybe people that are currently in your environment, they see you as a slightly defensive person. But you are actually very soft inside, okay? But it feels like you are stuck in a sense, and it's really hard for you to be you 100%. And you would like to feel you would like to expose yourself to the world. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. And it may mean different things to different people. For some of you, you need to show more of your talents. You need to show more of your sensitive side. Like, for instance, if you write poetry, then you have to expose that. For others, again, there is this message that you present yourself in a very conservative way in life, and you would like to preserve again. What am I saying? I don't know, maybe some of you would like to preserve, but you would like to present yourself in a more contemporary way. But you see this word preserve comes out. It's like there is certain classicism to it, some sort of very like formal museum setting. And just an example, like, you want to be contemporary art, but at the moment you are like the National Gallery Museum. You know what I mean? It's not a matter of better or worse. It's just it's a slightly different energy, slightly more provocative, let's say, yeah. And okay. So, yeah, I think not everything is being as authentic as it could be, of course. And you have a lot of things to unpack here when it comes to your throat chakra. And yeah, there is a strong message for a lot of people who identify with being a woman, this feminine energy. The feminine energy is not being fully unpacked and presented to the world. Now, femininity may mean a lot of different things, and it's really up to you how to express it. It does not mean that you have to wear an elegant black dress or anything, like, I don't know. But I think it's just, there is a lot to discover here and encourage as well. Yeah. It feels like you are about to lose it, really. You've been trying to maintain this imagery of yourself as being very serious, as being very traditional. Yeah, but I think it's hard because it's not 100% you. There are certain elements that are slightly more playful. Yeah, there's some rebellious energies coming in, but it can't fit into your sense of identity. You're still stuck in your old ways when it comes to how you present yourself to others. Okay, let's have a look at your third eye and at your capacity to imagine things. Okay, it is slightly blocked, I can say right away. Even though you do have a very deep connection to the universe, actually. You can have naturally a very good intuition, but you are blocking it. Yeah. And because of that, things might even take longer in your life. because you prefer to rely on your rational mind, okay? You just like being more reasonable, but your power lies in your intuition just as much as in your practical skills. I think you've mastered the practical side of yourself, and we've seen it with your root chakra. Amazing. And not everyone can do it, really. It's I can't say what is more difficult. It's all equally difficult, really, to master all energetic centers. But well done. Your root chakra, like, people can envy, really. But when it comes to your intuition, I don't think you are using it to your fullest, if at all. I can see it as being quite blocked, but it would like to come out. I think it is calling you, it's calling your attention. Your inner child is calling you. Kids, they are actually very much in contact with their intuition. Maybe as a kid, you actually had a completely different vision of the world, but then it got shut down by circumstances or by the way, just by your environment, you know. But I think it's time to unveil it again. And yeah, I think your intuition is sensing that it's time to add a new edge to you. The way you used to operate in the world has to slightly change. I'm not saying radically, but like just extending the number of colors that you are using while painting your life. Yeah. It's really hard for you to trust your vision. For some of you, it might even be difficult to visualize things. So unless you see like a business plan of how it's going to unfold, it will be very hard for you to take action on it. Yeah. For some of you, even spiritual concepts might be quite tricky to digest, but I think for a very small percentage, really, because for the majority, I think, yes, you are very rational, but you are mostly blocking your intuition because naturally you are actually quite intuitive. But it's completely blocked now. You are not trusting it. Yeah. Let's have a look at your crown chakra, and this is your connection with the divine. Okay. You, again, yes, you prefer to rely on material things, on hard work, on a solid plan, and this is how you're going to manifest things. You know, it's not that you don't even believe in manifestation, but I think your main focus is on the amount of actual physical work rather than spiritual work. Okay? And perhaps it stems from the fact that before you used to rely on a higher power, but there was a certain situation that discouraged you. Like, you thought that higher powers would help you out, but it didn't feel like it. Maybe there was some sense of loss. For some of you, maybe, like a loss of a close one. For others, simply like something was unfulfilled. Okay. and you thought, okay, if the universe could help me, it would have done so. So now it's really hard to rely on a higher power. You would like to do it, I think, but this connection with the universe is slightly broken, was slightly damaged. Yeah. So maybe meditating on your crown chakra first and trying to heal it will then unfold this gateway to your intuition as well. Interesting. Okay, pile 3, I think I will leave it here, and I'm sending you lots of love, and yeah, hopefully you will be able to work through all the possible blockages. I will be posting soon meditations on different chakras as well. So if you would like a personal reading with me, all the details are down below, and of course I will be happy to connect with you on Instagram as well. Have a beautiful day and see you soon. Bye bye.